Hi, in this session I am going to discuss time series data with seasonality. Whenever we talk about time series data, we can expect in many cases the impact of season. So, the seasonal effect is nothing but a repetitive and predictable pattern of data around the trend line. The seasonal period can be in terms of days or weeks or months or quarters. So, what we do is whenever we have seasonal effect, we try to eliminate seasonality from the time series. So, this process is called deseasonalization or seasonal adjusting. So, let me explain how we do this. So, whenever we have the data, we can use multiplicative model. So, in that case I will assume that the value is a product of trend and seasonality. So, here I am going to assume yt as product of trend and seasonality, so which is tt times st. So, when I divide yt with tt, what will be left is seasonality. So, that is the seasonal effect. If I am using an additive model, then my yt is nothing but tt plus st. So, if I subtract st, what will be left is my trend. So, this process is called deseasonalization. So, let me explain how this is done when we have the data. There are several techniques, and in this session I am going to discuss method of simple averages. Let us see how method of simple averages work. The first thing is I have to identify the period or the periodicity of this data, and suppose let us say the periodicity is daily or monthly, then for each of those periods I am going to calculate the average. So, again going back to the diet example, I am going to assume that the periodicity there is daily. That means depending on the day there may be a spike or drop in the demand, and I will calculate the daily average, for example daily average for Sunday, Monday and so on. And the next step is I am going to calculate average of those averages. So, I have 7 days. So, I have daily average, I am going to calculate average of those 7 days averages. Now, the seasonal index is nothing but the daily average divided by the average of those averages. So, let me take a data to explain this process. So, here I have taken 28 observations from the diet example, which is demand for continental breakfast. The data is between 5th October and 1st November. 5th October is Sunday and 1st November is Saturday. So, here I have 4 observations for each of those days. So, if I look at Sunday, there are 4 demands which is starting from 5th October. So, I have first week, the first Sunday the demand is 41, the second Sunday it is 40, third is 40, the fourth is again 41. So, what we do is in the first step we look at the average of days. So, Sunday average, Monday average and so on. So, first we calculate that. So, that is what is given in the 5th column here, which is the daily average, and at the end of the 5th column I have average of those averages. So, what we do is to calculate the seasonality index, I divide the daily average with average of averages. So, that is my seasonality index. So, once I have the seasonality index, I go and deseasonalize the data, which is nothing but dividing the actual observation with its seasonality index. So, in this table I have actually deseasonalized the data. So, once I have the deseasonalized data, then I can actually predict the trend probably using techniques like regression. So, I have a deseasonalized data, I develop a regression model on the deseasonalized data. So, I have a trend equation. So, using that equation I can forecast the deseasonalized values of the future y values. So, here I have the regression output. Now, the intercept here is 39.81 and the slope is 0.1234. So, I can use this equation. So, my trend component is nothing but 39.81 plus 0.1234 times t. So, if I have to forecast let us say 29th day, which is 2nd November, my ft will be t29 times s29. So, I can calculate t29 by using the trend equation, which is 39.81 plus 0.1234 times 29, and when I multiply with the corresponding seasonality index, which is 0.9733, which is basically the seasonality index for Sunday, I get the forecasted value for day 29, which is 42.23. The actual value is actually 46. So, this is how we handle data with seasonality index or seasonal effect, and in this graph I have shown the trend line as well as after incorporating the seasonal component. So, the red line is the trend line and my blue line is nothing but the forecasted value, which includes trend as well as seasonality.